Hey, there we go.
Is it? Oh!
Is there sound?
I'm gonna just chill here for a second and wait for the chat to let us know. Audio is back. Okay. Well, I just literally gave you guys a 30-minute speech. I don't know where that was, but I'm just gonna give you the quick run back of said speech. First of all, what is up, Star Wars Gaming Television? Hello. How you guys doing? My name is Indy. I'm joined with my dear friend. What? BMAC Attack just wants to jump in.
Hi, I'm BMAC.
BMAC Attack, 64.
I've been here for all days.
All days?
All days.
He's been here all days, everyone. All right. So this is gonna be a good time. I'm really excited for this. I was telling BMAC, I don't think I've done a trilogy run for a marathon in a very, very long time, if ever. I'm trying to remember an actual time that I've done this. So we're gonna be playing Super Star Wars today. There are 3 of them. Count them. 3. Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. We're gonna be playing on easy today because I can't beat it on Jedi. It's just too hard. I don't think anyone's ever beaten it on Jedi. It's already hard enough on easy, so we're gonna run through it this way. But at any rate, I think we're good to go. Are we? You ready for this? I just want to double check with the old timer here. It looks like it is functioning. It's a good thing.
You're in charge.
I'm in charge. I like to hear that. Well, anyway, this is Super Star Wars. We're gonna get started here as soon as the screen comes back up. Here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So as mentioned, there are 3 games we're gonna be going through from start to finish. I'll switch out the carts as we finish. Starting off with Luke in the Dune Sea. Very quickly on, you'll notice that a vast majority of these games are going to be spent sliding. Sliding or rolling, depending on what character you're using. Right. Han Rolo. I am already messing up the very easiest part of the stage. That's a good thing.
I just want to mention real quick, this is arguably one of the greatest Star Wars games ever made.
I agree with you.
Or series.
Yes,
these 3.
yes,
They belong together. Just because they didn't come out at the same time doesn't mean they don't belong together.
Absolutely. They do belong together. Highly regarded as some of the most difficult Super Nintendo games. I think Empire still ranks as like one top 10.
Definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, they're pretty rough, but I've always had a soft spot for them. I played them as a kid, and I just, I'm 90 years old now, and it's just something that I just love to still play.
How did you pass me? How did you pass me on age?
I don't know, man. Time's weird, and somehow it happened. So we got the little Sarlacc pit. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Sarlacc actually goes out of the ground for some reason in this. Straight up. Looks a little different than the movies.
Even before the remake or the remaster or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they made movies based on these games. Can you believe that? You should probably watch them sometime. I don't know if anyone's seen them, but it goes by the same name, actually. Super Star Wars, the movie. And now we're in the beginning of hell. So, Super Star Wars, in addition to being some of the laggiest games you'll ever play in your entire life, they also have an absurd amount of RNG. So right in here, I have to kill 12 Jawas. Hold on, up, Womp Rat, see you later. I have to kill 12 of these guys, and they're going to spawn randomly. They get to choose whenever they spawn. So you can just lose a minute right here for no reason. But don't worry, there's not only one of these, there's 2 of them, and the second one's even longer. And then there's also a little X-Wing section later on that does the same kind of thing. But
there's literally no skill involved in this section.
Nope.
You could be the worst runner in the world, but still have a better gold split than any of us.
Mm-hmm. In fact, my friend Andy, who runs a bunch of Zelda games and several other notable speedruns, he picked this game up for a total of 3 days, I think, when he came over to my house once. And he had already gotten a better gold split for the second section than I had after thousands of hours in this game. So, just put that. And I'm also getting some extremely bad luck currently. Normally, you want to finish the stage by under 3 minutes, but here we are. This is a marathon Marathon luck. I'm excited for it. It's going to be great. But fortunately, whenever you finish, you just fly up to the sky, head towards that sand trial.
I feel like everybody has a different method for trying to get these Jawas to spawn. I personally like to fly backwards.
Oh, okay.
And despawn all the sprites in front of me, and hopefully a Jawa will spawn in its place.
See, I feel like that's a logical way to do it. I think I've done so many different ways, and none of them seem to make any difference that I've just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna drive forward. If they spawn, they spawn. If not, then here we are, you know?
This now we're on the sand crawler.
Yes, the sand crawler. What memories do you have associated with this particular stage here? Oh shoot! Nothing happened. We're fine. That's good.
No, it's all right. You didn't go anywhere. Fell in the sand, you know.
I just really wanted to do this part again. I just really like that Jawa.
This is exactly the fond memory that I have, though. Renting this as a kid and spending forever trying to get to the top of this.
I have so many stories of people saying that they just quit on this stage.
There's so much lag on this level, and this game eats so many inputs that trying to get some of these precise jumps it's a lot of luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's totally what happened to me. Is the reason I fell was because of all these dropped inputs and the luck.
It
wasn't my fault at all. I clearly am in tip-top shape when it comes to speedrunning. Just flawless gameplay. Could not have been me.
It also doesn't help that you have the Seeker weapon.
Right, which is the laggiest.
That causes even more lag.
Yes, it's kind of absurd. Oh, you didn't know you could do the high jump? Yeah, no, that's a lifesaver, really. It changes the game.
A necessity in some parts.
Let's see. So we fall down this hole, and we're gonna keep falling for a good little ways. We get that secret blaster, so we level up to Ion. Now you'll notice here shortly, I'm gonna keep Ion, even though I'm gonna pass up another particular blaster power-up right here. The reason being is you can get that one, but there's another one later, and it's actually faster to keep Ion here because Ion kills a couple of particular enemies faster. Oh, these guys are meat jerks. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, jump.
Oh, so this is another section of dropped inputs. Like, I'm trying to jump at certain points, and it just is not letting me jump when I'm wanting to. And then you get knocked off, and can't kill this enemy. There we go. That was about as good of a section as you can ever have. Oh, but anyway, so Ion is actually significantly faster for killing some of these other enemies, even though it doesn't do as much damage as Plasma, which is the one that we really want. It makes this next section coming up here a little bit quicker. And I will point it out to you when we get there.
Yeah, and the energy beam hallway is as bad as it sounds.
Yep. Okay, good. We got the last one. These guys right here. So with Ion, you can just zoom right past them. The Plasma sprite is significantly bigger than the Ion, so it actually doesn't hit as often as the Ion hits, so it's faster to kill those guys there. Coming up here, we're going to do a fun little trick. Another favorite part of the game for so many people is this boss, the Jawenko. But we're going to do a little secret thing. I'm just going to hold the R button.
Is that what he's actually called?
I think so. It's Jawenko.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I just never fight him.
I mean, you shouldn't. It's one of the worst bosses ever.
Yeah, I think he's literally impossible.
Yeah, it's definitely rough, especially on Jedi. Not a fun thing. And it spawns there at the very end and shoots you off to the left side of the screen. But the reason that works is because the trigger for spawning that boss is actually in that sand down there, right? It's lava, whatever you want to call it. So what happens is if you scroll up, the boss never spawns. Oh, I'm gonna get stuck there. Great. The boss never spawns, and then you just let go of R, and it respawns at the end. But you're already in the loading zone for the next, right? It's the end of the stage, and so you just finish the stage. It's that simple.
And yeah, it is really actually like one of the hardest bosses you've ever fought in your life.
Yeah.
And if he knocks you into the lava, it's basically an
Instant
instant kill. And then you lose all your blaster power-ups. So the next time you get to him, it's even harder.
Yeah, that's another thing to point out about this is that you do not get to keep your blaster power up on death. So this section here is actually kind of scary for me. This one is not so bad. The next section, I'm gonna probably not talk through. I have a tendency in marathon runs to die right there.
A few years ago, this game was included in a Super 16 race.
Yeah, it was.
Which I took part of. And I died in this section with the birds. And instead of going through the next level, because we just had to beat the mutant Womp Rat, I just decided to reset because I figured it would be faster getting through this section again without dying.
It's highly possible. It's highly possible.
So I lost like 10 minutes in that race for this.
Alright.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to die.
Yeah, it's a thing. I'm also gonna take this boss a little carefully too. I'll point out as to why. So now we did the lightsaber. See our good friend Ben Kenobi tells us to use the Force and run to Dagobah. And fight some exploding banthas along the way. What's up, Chapter Hearts? How you doing? Also, feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have anything as we're going through this game. I know there's not a lot of time to process many of the things that happen.
But if you've seen the movies, you've seen exploding banthas before.
Right, absolutely.
Or if you've watched The Mandalorian.
Okay, here we go. I know you haven't seen this one, though. Be very careful. This guy can just drain my health. Okay. Got it.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, I think these are harder than NES and New Hope. I also run that one. Or I guess I ran that one. I haven't run it in a while. But I think these are a lot harder than the NES Star Wars games. I guess I shouldn't say all. I don't know. I haven't played all of them. Like, physically on
there's the two, the regular NES Star Wars and then Empire Strikes Back. But then there's that Konami.
That's the one I'm talking about. I haven't actually played through that whole thing. I played a little bit on an emulator, but I never actually like played through it, so I couldn't tell you specifically what that one is. I just got to the point where Darth Vader's a scorpion, and then
That's all you needed.
that was it for me. I was like, all right, well, I've seen it.
That was the golden age of video games, right?
It really was. Darth Vader turns into a scorpion. But I know there are a few runners for the Empire Strikes Back for NES. I played it. It's not much different than the Game Boy version, and I played the Game Boy version. But either way, my favorite of all those is just Star Wars NES, and then, of course, I like the Super Star Wars games better altogether. Again, I mentioned random section. This one's the worst. This is the one that literally you can just lose a minute on any given run on this particular stage.
So when people ask me about these games, I always tell them Super Star Wars is hard because, like, the speedrun is hard because of RNG.
It's hard because of RNG, and it's one of those games where RNG that you have to react to, right? So there are different enemies that spawn at like slightly different times, and generally speaking, they're going to be in the same position. But if something is not exactly right, then they're not going to be there. And then on top of that, you just have the difficulty that adds to the difficulty of the game itself. And then the actual speedrun itself is hard because of how rare it is to actually get good RNG in every given section. Like, especially like in Return of the Jedi, as my dear friend Ed and all in the chat knows. Like, every single stage just has like a 10 to 15 second variance for no reason. Literally no reason. And like, you can't do better. It's just, it's obnoxious. So actually getting good times in these games is quite a feat. And not only that, but the lag makes it so that your inputs are dropped. There's a ton of different things that make these games just difficult to deal with.
Cool. So we're on our way to Mos Eisley,
Yeah.
not Tashi Station.
I guess we're in Mos Eisley now, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we're on our way to the canteen.
Yes, we're on our way to the canteen. Mos Eisley.
And I don't know why these guys are attacking us. We don't have the droids we're looking for. They're looking for.
Yeah, I know. They just want to fight. Probably should grab that bird, but should be okay. What's up, Corey?
There's a lot of spikes on the ground that you'll see him walk across. A lot of the damage in this game is related to frame rate. And sometimes you get stuck on those spikes, or sometimes you get stuck in an enemy. Like, he was very safe with that Womp Rat. If you have collision damage and you get like super low frame rate at just a few frames, you will take extra damage.
You're just dead.
and it will put you in a really bad spot. So this level in particular is very dangerous if you run the bottom route.
Have you ever have you ever actually gotten it to where there's a couple points where Luke, if certain conditions are present, it's only happened like once or twice to me ever, but if you jump and you do a spin jump, Luke will actually get stuck in spin jump and you can't get out, and so you just land on the spikes and die. Have you ever had that happen?
I feel like I have, but then it's just like maybe I was too low of health and I didn't notice, but I have had some instant deaths on those spikes before, and there's literally nothing you could do. It's just the game decided to kill you. And now we're inside the cantina. Yeah,
I went with Chewie. Normally you would choose Luke here, because Luke is still just slightly faster. However, Chewbacca has more health, and it's actually dependent on this stage. You have to get two health swords or get an unreasonably good luck on the boss in order to live through the boss fight. So we just go ahead and go with Chewie just to make sure that we can actually live through.
Health swords are usually pretty generous. So far I haven't seen one.
There's one.
Okay. Yeah,
it's rare that you don't get any, but it does happen that if you only get one with Luke, you can still die. So the emulators for this game are, I guess, it's just not properly optimized. I'm not sure the reason why, but yeah, it's not actually any better to run on MU. Also, I'm just like I don't mind people running on MU. I just generally don't want to play a game on something other than its original console. And that changes for different games and stuff like that. Interesting thing here, this boss on the Japanese version of the game is not even an issue. It just almost dies instantly with plasma. But this next stage, the boss is even slower because for whatever reason, there is an infinite greater number of lag. I don't know how to properly say what I was just trying to say, but basically there's way more lag on the boss for this next section on the Japanese version. And
there's a big trade-off there. So, I mean, so there's really not much advantage if you take that trade-off. I don't know. What do you...
I still don't know which one is literally faster, because I think it's dependent on a few different things.
But the leaderboard is full of Japanese times.
Basically, you can choose whichever one. One's going to give you advantage over the other in a certain section.
And don't fall down that.
Yeah, I got really nervous there. I jumped way earlier than I meant to.
There is a hole just before this boss. If you fall down it, it's a reset.
Yep, you did. Can't get out.
Which, definitely a game dev error.
I don't know if that was an error. I think they wanted that.
Just to be stuck down there?
Yeah. Oh, no, you can die.
Okay,
there's spikes down there. Am I crazy?
And you get stuck.
I'm pretty sure there are spikes down there.
Someone else try it out.
Yeah, I'm not about to do it right now. You know what? Let's just go back. Let's just go see. So also, I'm going to take a quick pause here. Normally you can make it past that little area, but this particular stage, you have to be really careful with your health routing. Here is the normally very laggy boss from the Japanese version. Not do that. Oh, another thing I probably should have mentioned. So there's a thing in this game, in all the games actually, called slide canceling. And what happens is, if you slide and then cancel your slide with an attack, the game still registers your pixel, or your actual sprite, as the sliding animation. So you don't take as much damage. What am I missing? Okay. You don't take damage from certain attacks because the game actually is not touching you, because it registers that you're smaller than you normally are. So normally where you would get shot if it shot you in the chest doesn't happen because the game thinks that you're sliding.
Yeah, your hitbox is lower to the ground.
Exactly.
And it'll let you avoid a lot of attacks. And it really comes in handy in this game and Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Which you'll see at the end of that game especially.
The quick kill. This stage is another one of those stages where you probably choose Luke if you wanted to go the absolute fastest way. However, another thing to note about this particular game is sometimes, still haven't figured out why. Actually, I think it happens in all of the games. There's variable jump heights. So sometimes you can just jump higher or shorter than you are supposed to be able to with any given jump. Like with a high jump, you can actually get a short high jump, which makes it so that you don't make certain platforms. While you're using Luke does not jump as high as Chewbacca does, making it not as easy to clear these gaps. So you can just try and jump over some of these gaps and then just straight up not make it because the game decided, we're not going to let him jump this time. It's also a little scary here. No, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
The gaps themselves are a little deceptive, and with Luke, it's almost a frame-perfect or pixel-perfect jump.
Yeah, it's a very, very tight jump as it is, and then if you don't get the normal height, you're just out of luck. You did. Just playing this very carefully here, as I just don't want to die.
Yeah, you notice some stormtroopers fell from the ceiling. That's also random.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be jumping over a gap, and they could drop right in front of you, and you can't move them. They literally just block your path and send you both down the hole.
Yep. You go down the hole. But here we are, fighting this dude from RoboCop.
Ed 209.
Yeah.
I remember him from Star Wars.
Spread them butt cheeks real quick. There we go. Beautiful. Not the best luck, but we'll take it.
He's dead. That's what matters.
Just do a little dance.
Yeah, so all the characters have advantages and disadvantages, which is something cool about these games.
The exception of Han in this game. Han's just basically pointless.
Han never gets used in this game. But Luke is obviously the fastest, and then Chewie's got the most health and jumps the highest. Han can do nothing.
I don't even think Han has his nades in this game, right? I don't even remember. Okay, he doesn't?
He does not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know what the purpose of Han is. He's just basically a blend between the two, but that doesn't really do anything for you.
Yeah. He's not as fast as Luke, and he doesn't jump as high as Chewie, so why would you ever use him?
Exactly.
And then, but when we get to the later games, there's definitely big advantages to all the characters, and we'll swap to them for specific levels for that reason.
Actually, in Empire, you don't get to choose which character you use. You just start the stage, and that's what you're using. Mm-hmm. But in Return of the Jedi, we get to choose. They brought back the character select screen for Return of the Jedi. Oops. Oh, this is very strange. Another.
It's all about Leia.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's another little scary thing. You saw that little probe droid spawn. Those enemies can actually spawn in front of you and then prevent you from going past these little hammer, slam, whatever these things are, crushers. And if it prevents you from moving, then once again, you're dead.
Yeah, everything in these games has a hitbox or a collision box. Maybe hitbox, I guess. So when you kill droids, when bombs explode, they throw out debris. Every little piece of debris has a collision box. Every enemy has a big collision box. It will push you around and push you into places you don't want to be.
Yep. Also, I have forgotten so many times to learn the proper strat from this stage again. Ever since I got my time in this game, I basically have forgotten this stage. Probably from PTSD.
Right.
So in my run, I mentioned before you can get those short jumps, right? So there's actually a specific way that you can manipulate all of these platforms to immediately basically go to the top and save quite a bit of time. One of those jumps, you have to make sure that you hit a high jump at the end. And as I went to go for the high jump, the game gave me not a high jump. And so I fell and lost 20 seconds in my record run, which is no bueno. I think it's actually 16 seconds, excuse me. But still no fun.
And I don't know the strat for this level, which is definitely something I should learn. But don't you manipulate the platforms with the shoulder buttons, like raising it up and down?
Yeah, there are certain sections where you want to keep it neutral. There's some sections you want to keep it down. It has to do with where the platforms are as they spawn on the screen. So like where you are in relation to them. So if your screen is lower, it's not going to spawn until a certain point, and then it's going to line up the cycle properly. Shoutouts to why am I all of a sudden forgetting who came up with that strat?
I don't know who came up with that strat.
It'll come to me. I'm like completely blanking because I do not want to mess this section.
The Hulk.
It was the Hulk. Thank you. So sorry, the Hulk. The Hulk came back to this game, so I was kind of done with this game. The Hulk came in and just demolished it, as the Hulk does. And I was like, I can't have this. So I started running the game again. We traded the time, and then Denzel Glovington came out of nowhere and took it from both of us. and then I got my other time shortly after that. Here is the final section. Sorry, go ahead.
At that time, there was a lot of activity in the game. There was 4 or 5 like active runners.
Kekkum and Shoyu is another person who does the trilogy. I know you do the trilogy. I think those are the only 3 trilogy runners I know of. Is you, me, and Keku. But there are a number of runners that do at least one of the games. Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Obviously, if anyone wants to learn, you can always hit me up. I have some tutorials of the games on YouTube, and yeah, this section here again, as I was about to say, this is the final little RNG section of the game. These enemies all spawn at different points. You have to kill 20 TIE fighters and 20 towers. If you happen to run into a tower, so you see me kind of like turning and hitting the corner of the screen. The reason for that is because if you go straight, you accelerate to a point where sometimes you can't actually dodge the towers, and you just want to live. Definitely don't want to die. It's not a good thing. Here we go. Here's the trench run. This is essentially an auto-scroller, but not exactly, because depending on how many of these things are on the screen, adds more lag. So I've randomly saved like 5 seconds here, and I had no idea what I did.
Yeah, killing the ties before they fire off their little energy balls there.
Yeah. Although it's
save a lot of lag.
It's very, very, very not possible to get them.
Right.
The task manipulates it so that they just all spawn in the same area, so it doesn't even move.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, the task literally, like the reticle just sits in the center. Oh, I'm just missing all these. Just sits in the dead center and just kills everything before it even spawns. And you're just like, that's not fair.
I've always wondered why the X-Wing has green lasers and the balls are blue.
Yeah, I don't know. why
You
they
could have
did
swapped
that.
that in the color key, but sure.
And there's Vader. He gone. Here comes the end of this particular run.
Use the force.
Use the Force, Luke. And there we go. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. And I'm gonna turn this off. Actually, I'm gonna let you guys see this real quick. You gotta see the Death Star. It's cool.
Oh yeah, do it.
Oh, and Yahoo! Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. I don't know why I turned into Mario there. And now we're on to the most difficult of the 3, which is also my favorite. This is The Empire Strikes Back. This one's my favorite because of movement. It is the one that drops your inputs the least. What were you gonna say?
It's also my favorite.
Yeah,
of
it's
3.
it is really cool. It's not as glitch heavy as Return of the Jedi. That's kind of the reason why Return of the Jedi is so cool. And then I guess Super Star Wars is cool just because it's nostalgia. But then this one just, in terms of movement and the way the game feels, it's quite nice. So we start off immediately with the saber. You're going to get to see the saber used a lot more in this one. By a lot more, I mean not really that much more, in fact, if I think about it. Just a couple times.
Maybe like this level and the last level.
Yeah, you use it on Vader, you use it here.
And like
And,
one other level.
the Data
in
boss.
between. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely more. It is definitely more. I wasn't wrong. I just like wasn't thinking as much as I thought I was gonna do.
Plasma is still the best. in this
Plasma.
game.
Oh, actually, it's important to note too. So, lightsaber does the equivalent to ion damage. So plasma is in fact still stronger than the lightsaber. So what you'll see a lot of in this game that you don't really do in too many of the other ones is can I get this? Yeah, it's despawning.
Oh, yeah, double. Nice.
So I'm gonna be shooting enemies before they pop up on the screen because that actually despawns them and reduces lag. One thing that you just saw me do there is actually just a pure luck thing. If you get a detonator on that screen, for some reason you can spawn an extra blaster power up.
Yeah, you get the detonator, you pick up the blaster power up, and then you detonate the detonator.
I think you have to detonate the detonator before picking up the other blaster power up. You can't leave that screen and you have to use the detonator beforehand. I think. You might be able to pick up the detonator first.
You just stand right next to where the power up spawns.
So normally with that, we would have to go all the way up and jump up that little shaft there in order to get plasma. But since we already got it, we don't have to do that. It saves several seconds. But again, that's always just a pure luck thing.
Yeah. It's a very rare thing, but
Yep.
it's definitely nice.
I didn't switch to easy, right?
I don't know.
I don't know if I did. Well, we're gonna find out.
Maybe not.
I don't know if I did.
You're pretty low on health.
Well, we're gonna find out. I did. Okay.
Okay, good.
I like the way I saw how I got damaged there, and I was like, huh, I might be taking a little more than normal. I can't tell because the ice spikes do a lot on any difficulty. So I wasn't quite sure there. Thank you, Instant, for making sure that we did. Big ol' Mama Wampa right there. If you line up on the left side of that fight, just doesn't move the hitbox for whatever reason, so you can just continuously shoot.
And he makes this look really easy, but jumping all of these gaps, if you fall down there, instant death. There's tons of spikes down there. Casual players generally don't get past Hoth.
That's very true. I watched a long play of someone on YouTube like years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, dude, I'm so excited to watch someone play this. And they literally played this stage the entirety of the long play and then stopped. I was so sad. I was like, come on. Oh, I love that. That's little slide right there. Oh, and of course I messed up the easy one. Little slide that I just did there is a very, very tight window, and there's 2 of them in this stage. These little birds are annoying. Or bats, whatever they are. Here's the second one. I did not hit it.
Yeah, if you do... So, Luke can double jump in this game. That was not... You couldn't do that in the first one, right?
No, you should not.
Right. So if you short jump, like do a single jump onto a ledge and then slide off the ledge, you can still do your second jump in midair.
Mm-hmm. It's all dependent on whether or not you did your first or second jump. So if you... I just want to make sure I don't fall here. Okay. So, for instance, if I jump and don't double jump and then land and then walk off a ledge and then press jump again, it'll let me double jump. But if I double jump and then land and then walk off, you just fall. You can't double jump again.
Yep.
So we use that to manipulate kind of how we do our double jumps a few times. I guess it doesn't really manipulate them, but...
Well, there's some places like in this cave and on Bespin,
right,
where it helps with movement speed.
Another little thing here. So many tiny little things. If you don't land on the right side of these little slopes, you lose a bunch of time. Basically, any action that you do in this game loses you time, and not in the way of like, oh, obviously every time you do something in a game, like, you know, it loses time. No, like if you jump in this game, you lose 4 frames, as opposed to walking. So if you were just moving right, but then you did the same thing and jumped once, you would have done it 4 frames slower. So every time that you jump or do any sort of mistake or anything like that, you literally lose time. And we're gonna take this little guy a little further than we're meant to.
Nice.
Right over to the...
Hey, got the extra long.
I don't know what makes that work. It's kind of just like a feeling thing at this point. But yeah, you're not supposed to be able to take that over the first gap, but you can if you line it up properly. Where did you go, Jack? You did it. Luke is our primary character, essentially up until this point. Just after the Battle of Hoth, and we fight the ATST, we're going to switch up to Han. This stage is literally just slide. You can't... Have you died on this stage yet? Has it ever happened to you?
Definitely have died.
Yeah. So...
You get caught between the fire.
Yep. Sometimes, it's pretty rare. Like, out of my thousands of times playing this stage, I think I can count on one hand how many times it's happened. But it does happen where you just straight up just die. The flames start and they just burn you and you're dead. That's it. Here we're trying to despawn these as quickly as possible by doing this up and down little S motion.
Yeah, just keeping a lot of sprites on the screen and shooting where they're about to spawn will keep them off screen.
Were you about to say something else? I think I interrupted you.
Oh, no. Well, before you started, I was going to explain what you're about to do.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The despawn.
Okay.
And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again here. Oh, not this level. The next level.
Yep. So this stage...
Gotta have mode 7.
It's kind of weird to explain, but essentially you want to cause as little lag as possible, right? I mean, I guess that's the goal for any of these. Ideally, you want to knock out the probes as you go up the hill, because you can't really hit the bikers. And you want to kill them all right before we get to this one slope that veers off downward. Might get them both here. Nice. I might have actually killed these a little too early, so I'm going to just let them live just a little bit longer. And then I'm going to kill it now. Perfect. So now when we drop off, the ATST should spawn right in front of me. They did not spawn up in a line, which is a little bit of a bummer. You do that really well, you can actually make it so that they spawn directly in front of you in a line, and you can just kill all of them back to back to back. That is not the case here. I have to do a little extra maneuvering.
Collision damage is pretty heavy on this.
Yes, it is.
Those speeder bikes can kill you. I've died plenty of times by
Yep.
speeder bikes.
2 hits, I think, is all it takes from a speeder bike.
But they are generous with the hearts on this level.
Any enemy that you kill gives you a few. Assuming that you haven't dropped too many hearts already. I think the max is
There's
like
sprite limit
5 or
something.
6 or something like that. Yeah, it probably has more to depend on total sprites as opposed to that specific sprite. We take out the AT-ATs by flying around them, just like in the movie. I don't know if I mentioned, but they made some movies based on this game. I don't know if I mentioned that yet.
I don't think you have.
Probably haven't.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them either.
Probably not. No one ever makes that joke when I play this game. Shimmy through. We got 2 more of these. Another little thing is you have to stay close enough to the AT-AT dying before you can zoom off. So I wait until the red of the eye disappears, and then you can zoom off to the next one. Probably so, Jack. Probably so. It's just too important.
I know. I was thinking last night that I should make like some sort of stat stream when this whole thing is done. Of like, how many times have we played Hoth?
Yeah.
How many times have we gone to Kashyyyk? You know?
That'd be really interesting. I'm curious. Here, as BMAC was mentioning, this is another section where we're going to do our best to shoot just off screen so that we can kill these enemies before they actually officially spawn.
Kind of see their sprites flicker in and out when
Yep.
they despawn.
Let me stop shooting for a little bit. So the more you're shooting, the more lags on screen. These guys don't actually cause any lag, so we let them fly. And the music picks up. We start spawning in again.
They also don't damage you, which is nice.
They do on Jedi.
Oh, okay.
They damage you quite a bit on Jedi. They damage, or I should say, their actual sprite damages you way less than the ion shot, but they definitely damage you. The ion shot, basically just 2 of those on Jedi will kill you.
Because if you do kill them, they'll respawn in front of you and likely hit you in the process. So
Yep.
just leaving them there is a safer option, on easy at least.
Another example here of we're going to be despawning enemies by just firing a couple shots and then sliding. Oops. I don't know why I jumped like that. That's okay.
And this level sucks when you don't have blaster power.
Yeah, when you don't have blaster power up, this is just, you just got to block your whole way through. Oops. If you're not careful, you can still die here. I guess that's really the thing to take away from every part of all these games is if you're not
Don't
careful,
die.
you can still die. Yeah, Empire's real fancy. Another thing to note too, just to add to the RNG factor of all these games. So, almost every boss can be significantly quicker to die if you get a detonator before you fight them. And I don't know what the actual percentage of a detonator is, but it's not very. It really does not feel very high.
Yeah.
But so you have the choice of, okay, do I farm for a detonator prior to this boss in hopes that I get it and save time, or do I end up just wasting the time from trying to get that detonator and it ends up not being worth it? So over the long run, you basically you have to say, all right, we're not going for the detonators, but if they happen to happen, then that's great. We'll use them. I don't know where I'm going. All right, there we go. Forgot where I was for a second.
Wow.
I speedrun this game, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. But, went to the right for no apparent reason there.
This is the first time we get to be Han, and he likes to roll.
Han Rolo.
And I don't know when he's ever rolled in a movie, but He's really good at it here.
Yep. Harrison's also just as good at it in the Super Nintendo Indiana Jones games.
Indiana Jones, yeah.
Exact same, basically the exact same sprite.
Yeah. It's a speedrun on my list. I mean, I learned
really
a little
cool.
bit for a multi-game race, but I still had a few minutes to shave off.
Is the chopper. Is the
Also done, I believe that game's Factor 5, which does all the Rogue Squadron games.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
I did not know that, actually. That's cool. It's very cool.
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But if they don't, I'm going to stick to it.
Well, if I don't see anyone tell you that you're wrong, then it becomes fact.
That's right. That's how the world works.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to use this Dart Trooper to push us a little further along on our journey. There's lots of minute little things here just to save time, because you can't actually... If you start shooting while you're not moving, you can't run again. You are permanently stuck shooting stationary. So there are times where after a slide, you want to cancel that slide, right, as we mentioned, so you get the smaller hitbox, but you also want to be able to move forward. So in order to do that, you have some enemies kind of propel you along the way.
Everything has a collision box.
Everything has a collision box.
And Han's cool because he has secondary weapon, which nobody else has. Well, no, Chewie's got.
Chewie has a secondary weapon.
Yeah.
Spin to
I
win.
mean, if you're talking about these guns.
Yeah. So, they can fly now. The ATSD can jump in this game for whatever reason, and it's faster to wait just a moment to let it jump, because I think the death animation for the ATST when it's on the ground is 7 seconds, and then it's 3 seconds if it's in the air. So even if you wait 4 seconds for that thing to jump on the last shot, you've broken even with killing it while it was on the ground. So fun little fact for you. Kill ATSTs while they're in the air and never on the ground. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. Indy on SNES by F5, LucasArts, Published by JVC. There you go.
I was right. This level's impossible in Jedi.
It is very, very dumb.
Yeah, so there's an actual like exit point when we finish this level. And so what he's doing is just kind of hovering around in place so he doesn't get shot by the TIE fighters. And then if you see on the little radar there, when the dot turns green, that means they're moving in front of you and you can shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just dodging around so they don't hit him. Then when they turns green, it goes back to it. And then recenters the screen so that once the last TIE fighter is done, it's an instant exit.
Yep. You have to be lined up, this basically facing towards the asteroid belt. Because if you aren't, then the game will tell you to go face it, and then it lets you leave the stage. So we just say, alright, we'll just face it the whole time then, game. That's really what you want. The nice thing about this one is I can just run into basically as many of these asteroids as I want and still be okay. I mean, you'll eventually die, but generally speaking, you can just take as many hits as you want. But in Jedi, you get hit by like 2 or 3 of those things, it's over. So not only do you have to shoot the TIEs and dodge their shots, but you also have to dodge all of the asteroids as they're flying at you.
There's like double the TIE fighters and like triple the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And the more TIE fighters that you kill, the more rocks show up.
Oh, is that true? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. My strategy on Jedi is I literally just hold R and up, and then pray.
And then, yeah, that's all you can do.
So we drop down to get elevation. Elevation is quite beneficial here. We're going to use it to despawn the part of the boss at the end of the 3rd part of this stage. So Dagobah has 3 parts. You can get lucky on this stage too. As soon as you drop down, a force power-up can spawn. Since you don't have force yet, you actually can't use the force, interestingly enough. So if you get that force power up, you can jump up to the top, and you don't have to deal with all the water, which is the main source of lag in that particular stage. So now, since we picked up the force power, we magically have force, and we can just float all the way up to the top, like so. And we got some gun darks up here. Want them to push us, didn't really work. So we pick up invisibility, that's going to be important as well. There's a bunch of different force powers. The only actual useful ones are elevate, what was I thinking? Elevate, invis, and heal. Those are really the only ones that are kind of worth it in this particular game. Freeze becomes very important in the next one, but it's not so important here because you can just literally float.
What I love is some of the hardest bosses in all three of these games have some of the best cheese to, like, not actually fight them.
Right.
This boss is so hard when you're just doing it casual.
Here you go, Spiffy. I'm about to give you half a boss, your favorite. There's a helicopter all the way through here. So there's actually, it's a pretty big window. There's a 6-pixel window here that you have when you're up here on the top, and when you drop down to where the actual boss spawns, that causes the boss to lose all of its eyes and its nose. And I'm going to do my very best to make sure that I get to that particular spot. So there's health, mind control we do not want, so that changes our menuing. Alright, here we go. Should be lined up here. So long as these guys aren't jerks. I might be low. Might be low? Nah, we got it. There it is. Nice. So normally, this boss, all the eyes, there's 4 eyes and a nose. And when you get here, oh, nice detonator. When you get here, normally you have to actually knock off all of those in order to be able to damage the boss, which takes about a minute optimally. So by doing that despawn, you save a minute over the normal fight. Just imagine every boss in this game is just a piece of cheese. Oh, and here we go. Here we go, B-Mac. You want to tell them about Cloud City?
The hardest level in the game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, there's not really much to say. It's just a platforming
It's
level,
stupid.
And you're on, and there's a lot of rolling and a lot of shooting. But we're going to get to some parts where we need to climb, and there's going to be some jetpack troopers, and they're going to like to hug us and push us around. And hopefully we can get it without falling.
Oh, nice. I despawned the platform. So there's another example. So that platform just wasn't there. It's supposed to be there.
Here we go.
So Cloud City already being Cloud City. Platforms just can sometimes not be in their correct spot. Just it is a whole thing.
These little drone things that keep following him will shoot plasma, which is very damaging. One thing that's really cool about this level, though, is all the enemies, well, like humanoid enemies, I guess, are the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back that you see on the Star Destroyer. You got IG-88, Zuckuss, Forlom.
There's Bosk.
Bosk. Yep, here's Bosk. We'll see Dengar a little later. And I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody.
I'm not sure, actually.
No.
I don't think
Here's
so.
a joke. There's somebody we'll fight later that's...
Oh, I see.
There's Dengar. Dengar's got a sweet staff.
Oh, what? Okay.
But yeah, coming up here, this is the climb.
So there's a couple ways to actually do this properly. I'm actually cheat a little bit and use that So if I jump here and kill them both quickly enough. Oh. Okay, good. Got it. Oh, that was almost not the correct jump.
Very good. That was a good climb. But yeah, those guys will spawn right where you want to jump. And also the enemies will spawn out of the door. So they'll spawn out of the door and push you off the ledge. And then that will make you eat a jump. And then the stormtroopers fly right in front of you.
No! I hate this level. Okay. Do you just want to, for fun, just see how many times it will take to give me a detonator? All right. So normally this particular boss is quite annoying, but this is actually the one boss in the game where if you get a detonator, it dies instantly.
Massive time save.
It's about 23 seconds from an actual optimal fight. On average, it's 30 seconds. Because I don't know of a normal human that can get the optimal fight on this with all the lag that happens. So we just sit here and we'll just go back and forth. So this is an example again of how rare it is to actually get a detonator in a run.
In a boss fight. Yeah, I think you wasted it though on the Dagobah boss.
Yeah, I guess so. We're gonna get it, don't worry. It's gonna show up right here. Now! Oh, okay, alright. 5 more. 1, okay. There's 1, 2, 3. Please give me a detonator. 4. This is it, right here. Guaranteed. Well.
Guaranteed.
Here we go. So I'm gonna show you now, not the fast way.
We'll get to use Han's bombs.
Yeah, the bombs do actually help a lot because you can damage multiple parts of the boss simultaneously. Vader's head is just a point thing. It doesn't actually really do any benefit other than give you extra points.
Oh yeah. But yeah, when Han's bomb explodes, it throws out a bunch of debris. And again, everything damages everything, so that just adds to the damage you do to the boss, which makes him pretty easy, even casually, just using grenades, but the detonator is just so much freer.
Also, Billy Deep! Love my boy Lando. Oh, there it is! I hate this game.
You just needed one more guy.
Apparently. I hate this game. Oh, hello? Can I move, please? Thank you. So those purple guys will also be
extremely annoying.
Yeah. They can be cause of death. They can do a lot of different things. So this is Chewie's spin to win that was mentioned before. Chewie is essentially invincible during that. Not in lava, I don't believe.
No.
But essentially invincible.
You can spin through enemies with it too.
You can.
So, like, he jumped on that ledge and then spun through the stormtrooper with the shield. Will keep him from being pushed off.
Nice little shield here. So shields are a very, very, very beneficial thing to pick up on this particular stage. Because you get to slide through the lava. And it also caused the purple guys not to spawn there, which is a wonderful thing. Hey, another detonator. This game sucks. Jump in the lava there for just a brief moment to speed past this. Oh, the purple guys drop lava as well. That's an important thing to note.
Yeah. It does so much damage, and it has its own hitbox. So if it like drops it into a corner that you're standing in, you'll get locked in that corner by the lava and just take infinite damage till death.
So is that 3 detonators that I've gotten on this stage?
Yeah.
What the heck? Obnoxious. Straight up obnoxious. If you move around on those platforms, you can actually get the jet troopers to spawn again. Which can give you a detonator for this boss, which makes it, again, faster. But there's also a chance that they can knock you off because of collision, and you can't do anything about it. So, gamble.
finding a purple guy in this is not good luck.
It is not good luck, but fortunately, it opened up, so we were able to.
Yeah, you can't damage them when they're just flying around. You have
Correct.
to wait for them to stop and open to drop their lava, which is completely random. They can fly forever until they decide to drop lava.
Mm-hmm. It is not a guarantee that they'll ever open up, actually.
This is
just the Ugnaught lava machine, I guess.
I was gonna say, this is my favorite movement level, I think, in the whole game.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, something about jumping up these carbonite tubes.
Yeah, it is fun. I think the Han levels are probably my favorite, other than the first... Alright, the second Hoth Cave as Luke is probably my favorite movement stage out of any of them. Luke does have the smoothest movement.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Okay, made it. I try to do a quick double jump there, just sometimes that forces those enemies to open up.
Hey, nice.
So it ended up working out there. Doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. Here's the example that B-Mac was just talking about. Little strat I came up with.
And I like the way you can like roll off some of these platforms to like
Oh no, that's why you don't want to do that.
lower platforms. Oops.
That's the risk of going for those quick jumps as opposed to just riding the platform, is you can get frozen by them. There's not really a way to prevent that, because if you blow up the chute that fires the carbonite, you can't stand on it. So that defeats the purpose of doing it anyway.
Yeah, not recommended if you want to go for a really good run. But it is fun to do.
Okay, and now we're approaching Carbonite Chamber Boss. So hopefully this enemy does not mean to me. You definitely want to... Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Oh, this is not good. Okay. There we go. Everything's fine now.
It's unlocked.
You definitely want to enter this boss with full health. Because again, it can just kind of mess with you. Also, those purple guys will spawn. Sometimes they'll hit you with the lava, even though they're not on the screen, so you can't really see it as it's happening.
And now Han won't be frozen in carbonite.
Agreed, Phantom. Yeah, we've changed the whole game. Well, I guess not.
Oh dang! Couldn't get out of there. Should have jumped higher.
Should have jumped higher. This is one of my very favorite stages, for a reason that you will find out at the very end. You can actually make it so that boss shoots a discus at you at the start of the stage, and you can carry it to almost the end. I haven't quite figured out how to make that consistent. I don't think that's a thing, but it is a possibility, and it does save a little bit of time.
Never tried that.
This is a scary little part here for many a player. This might be a jerk. That was bad. Everything's okay.
Oh man, that was close.
Everything's okay. My heart definitely dropped there, but we're okay. Fortunately, also, if you do die in this stage, it's not a big deal. This is basically the point where you don't need plasma anymore. It's helpful. I don't think I got it. Well, so we get to fight Boba Fett. If you get... if the game allows you to slide underneath that little lamp, whatever you want to call it, in the background, you can actually skip Boba Fett altogether. You can spawn in and then move past immediately that section of the fight, and then go to the Slave 1 fight here. And then you just... Leia's pissed. Leia's always pissed. Every time that you see Leia, she's just mad. This section is quite stressful on any given PB pace. This is another section that you just can get screwed over for no reason.
Yeah, so the cloud cars can spawn in various places, and some of them you can't really hit them. And then it's either turn around to go get them, or just continue forward and hope that more don't do the same. Because only so many cloud cars can be in the screen or in the area at a time. So if you miss too many, you have to go hunt for them.
Yep. I think it's like 4 or 5 that you can actually have on the screen.
But as long as you keep him in front of you, you can do what he's doing here and launch torpedoes.
There you go. That was a good
take him out pretty quickly.
That was a very good stage. Yeah, you definitely do not want to fire the normal shots. Because if you fire the normal shots in this particular stage, it just causes so much lag again. Everything's about reducing lag in these games. Fly up here real quick, so we can slide our way through. Oh. Here it is, final boss fight of the game, literally right here. Vader Rave. Oh. Okay, never mind. It's not actually the end yet.
He's chicken. It's the one time we use invisibility.
Oops.
Well, not the one time, but pretty much the only time.
Yeah. Slide through those enemies. It's faster just to go right through. Switch to elevate here so we can fly up this little section. So as I mentioned again before, the slide canceling allows you to actually slide into Vader's sprite without taking damage. Normally you cannot go into Vader's sprite, but with slide canceling you can go in and just infinitely damage him. This is normally the section you can just fly around, get a bunch of points, but we're just gonna hold right, chill here for a moment, get a water break, you know, crack your knuckles, and maybe watch a quick TV show, and we're back. I don't know of any TV shows that only last that long, but you know, I'm sure there's one out there. Swirl and twirl. We wait for there's a little queue in the background here. I wait until the forest goes to the R. And then there's a little difference in the background. Should be far enough. Yeah. Here we are. This is it.
And so when he's doing this fight, every swing that he's doing, he's not mashing. It's more on the D-pad, going left to right, up and down, kind of swirling it around.
Yeah, so I hold down the Y button to attack, and I press up and then left and right repeatedly over and over and over again. So, again, if you slide into Vader's sprite, you can manipulate him so that if you're on the left side of his sprite, he's going to jump up and to the right. So what we do is we slide there to get him to jump up and to the right on this little platform. He can't move any further to the right. So when we land right there, we just turn on invisibility towards the end here so we don't get knocked away. And you just infinitely damage him until he's dead. And that is The Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
Turn the ship around. Leia knows where Luke is. If anyone's watched the Family Guy version of Star Wars, it's quite an enjoyable thing. My dear friend Spike Vegeta would sing that to me all the time. Made me laugh quite hard. And here we go. Ed and all, if you're still in the chat, this one's for you. Edinal and I, back in the day, we traded this record back and forth. It was quite, honestly, one of my more fond memories of speedrunning times. Edinal is a fierce competitor, a wonderful speedrunner, and a very dear friend. So starting off, we're in the speeder. Again, we're going back to, we can choose characters. Not on every stage, but there's at least a character select screen on each stage. We're flying through this little section, approaching Jabba's palace. And we're going to start off using Leia. Is it Bausch? Is that how you pronounce that? Do you know?
Yeah.
Is it Bausch? Okay. Yeah, so Leia Bausch. The reason why is because Leia has this insanely strong charge attack. And if you use it, you can actually do significant damage multiple times to different enemies. And it's quite useful, so you'll see that happening here.
Like, it's very OP in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just don't get to use her at all in the other games, and all of a sudden they're just like, we'll make her amazing, right?
Like, Bausch Leia's got this charge attack. Well, Leia's always got a charge attack.
Except for when she has a blaster.
As a kid. I did not know that you could do that. I should have read the manual, I guess.
I actually don't remember how I figured it out.
Yeah, so it's really useful for here, and then later will be Slave Leia, which is also very useful.
Slave Leia gets a triple jump. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Also, those little birds that you saw kind of flying through, like the green-looking pterodactyl-ish things, I don't even know how to describe them. They can just grab you and take you back to the beginning of the stage if they really feel like it. They can also make you clip through the floor, too, which is a really interesting thing. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Dude, there's so many crazy things that can happen in this game.
I've never clipped through the floor because of them.
Yeah, like it drags you into the floor.
It definitely takes me to the beginning of the stage. And you might as well just reset.
Yeah. So right there, I was using another addition to this game is the speed booster. So you can actually pick up speed and just fly, like super speed. So while using that, I actually did a charge attack, and you become the same speed as your charge attack. So I fired a charge attack and then charged up the next charge attack, so I was immediately able to fire another charge attack on that boss. Yes, this game is a lot more open. There's a lot more exploratory sections. Great insight. It's another little part where detonators are quite useful. You have to kill a certain number of each of these enemies, but they also can't respawn. Like it's very odd how they chose to do this, but this enemy over here, there it is, gone. Yeah, so there's a number of different routes that you can kind of take because of this open, I guess, design is probably the word I was looking for. Which again will become very useful when I demonstrate to you guys the freeze jump, which is what makes the game-breaking aspect of this particular game so far.
It's really the gatekeeper trick to getting a good time in this game.
Mm-hmm. It's not too difficult.
I don't know, you say that, but I have tried forever, and I can never get more than like 2 jumps in a row.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm probably the only person that says, like, it's not too bad, and then everyone else, like, just doesn't do it. I think honestly, the reason for that is because for whatever reason, the way that I figured out how to do it is just the natural rhythm for something else that's in my mind that just perfectly fits with it. Does that make sense? So, like,
It could, yeah.
There's some sort of, like, metronome in my head that, like, is just always set to that, so I just kind of know. And of course, I'm saying this, and I guarantee you I'm going to miss all my freeze jumps. Oh, absolutely, I know. We're going for the Tampa skip. So, Tampa is another dear friend of I guess, ours, and discovered that if you come here, Luke and Leia have this similar sprite that, if damaged properly, can clip through walls. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try and get, there we go. Got these frogs here. If they push me just right, and I slide. Okay, that's lined up. There it is. Please move forward. There it is. So, just right. You can clip right through that wall. If you get it instantly, it actually saves you about 50 seconds or so. I also got a frame perfect jump, which is cool. I missed that. That's good.
He also did a freeze jump immediately after that clip, which you might not have noticed.
Yeah, so when the game goes blue for like a quick moment, like this, I'm doing a freeze jump. Essentially, the way freeze jumps work, the easiest way to describe them is you're going to jump, and then when you're in the air, if you press freeze and you're holding the direction, the game, for whatever reason, forgets that you're not on the ground. It activates the ground motion again. Also, shout out to Smithy. There's that frog right there. The game just forgets that you're not on the ground, and then wait, okay, shoot me. Game forgets that you're not on the ground, and then allows you to immediately jump after if you time it properly. So you can chain jumping infinitely as long as you have force to be able to continue jumping. The timing of it is actually different depending on how much lag is on the screen, a few other factors, but you kind of get a different feel for different freeze jumps. There's some that you need to immediately press the button. There's some where you just kind of have to let it go. I have no way to really describe unless you just want to have like a moment where we sit down and maybe catch a stream or something. I can explain it to you. It's not something I can just readily just be like, oh yeah, no, here, you just time it just like this. Yeah, a bunch of little nuanced timings. But essentially, you jump, press freeze, jump again, press freeze, do that over and over and over again.
And doing one is actually like pretty easy. And for the most part, you only need to do one to get a lot of these either skips or fast movement. But
yeah, there's only a few.
There's going to be a couple skips later that require like a full force bar worth of freeze jumps, which has been extremely difficult for me and keeps me from getting a better time in this game.
They are rather stressful too. Did I despawn the boss? This is actually another scary moment of the run too, because you can just, if you don't manage this properly, you don't have enough health. On easy, it's pretty rare, assuming that you're actually not just repeatedly allowing yourself to get damaged, but you can actually die to this boss. Jedi especially. This is a little rough. Just so this is the easiest game to complete on Jedi. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi is the easiest of the three to actually complete on Jedi. Yeah, okay. So here, as Ednall was mentioning, this is one of those open stages. So there's actually a whole pathway that I'm just going to straight up skip right there.
Like 80% of the level.
Yeah, so I just skipped a vast majority of the level. Basically the entire level, just then. And
it wants you to go, like, he starts out on the low route, you go all the way to the right, and then you go up a level, and go all the way back to the left, and then you go up a level and go all the way back to the right again.
Yep.
And basically we just went to the right once.
Yep.
And
just freeze jump up and skip the whole thing. Also, I think there's only one other mention of this enemy anywhere in Star Wars lore. And I don't even remember where it is. Kind of a little closer. So I really don't even know what that thing is. But it's the boss in this stage.
I don't know what that thing is either.
Here we go.
Oh, Slave Leia.
Everyone's favorite. Wait. Oh, that's the cutout version. So what we're going to try and do is... There it is. Just for you guys. Leia booty. At the end of this stage, we're going to try and land the final frame of the stage. Obviously, I can't control it, but the final frame of the stage. Land on that particular frame. I guess pixel. Whatever you want to call it. Sprite? That's the word. What's up, dude?
It determines whether you're going to get world record or not.
Yes, if you don't have it, it's not record. So you might as well just reset. Again, as I mentioned, so you can triple jump with Leia here. What happens is when you jump and then press your normal attack button, it does the same animation as a double jump. So if you jump, attack, and then jump again, it ends up becoming a double jump. Or sorry, a triple jump, excuse me.
Again, he's going to use her charged cack and basically just wipe out Jabba here.
Alright, here we go, here we go. This is it. Let's get it. Yo! We did it! We did it!
Record.
Marathon run never fails. Never fails.
I hate this level.
Yeah, this level sucks. This is so for a number of reasons. So they just spawn randomly, right? They spawn however they want. Sometimes they'll spawn in front of you, sometimes behind you, all that good stuff. Another thing is some of them just decide, I don't want to get damaged, so you can't hurt them, no matter what you do. You can shoot them, you can ram them. I guess technically speaking, all of them can die to ramming, but some of them will fly in front of you to the point where they cannot be rammed anymore.
And then they're invincible.
Just like this one right here.
Yep.
So no matter how many times I shoot that guy, it's just not going to die. Then of course you can, by choosing to ram, you also can lose your health rather readily. And if you die, you have to do all of these over again.
And there's not a lot of hearts. So
it's all random. Sometimes there are a lot of hearts, but sometimes there are just none. So.
And those trees, obviously, they spawn and you have about a millisecond window to dodge them.
Right. Also, that ending section is random as to when it when it starts. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes you wait like 10 seconds. As I said, you can just lose 15 seconds on any stage here. And here we are, this is actually me. This is Wicket right here. Fun thing about Wicket is actually the strongest character in the game.
He's the best. It's too bad this is the only time, well, these two levels are the only ones you get to use him in. Unless you use a cheat code.
Right.
These levels are so laggy.
We're gonna try and skip this boss. Jumping and sliding at just the right point. You skip that one. That one's the pretty easy skip. That's a pretty consistent one that we found. This next one, however, Ednall is the best in the world at this particular stage, and he's tried to explain this to me so many times, how to do the stage properly, and I just can't. I don't know why my brain just doesn't want to do it, but
It's looking alright.
was, but then messed up there. I messed up on the easy part. And then, of course, the affectionately named Poosh right here. No, I didn't get it. We're gonna try now, maybe. So if that enemy pushes you, you can actually land on this platform without having to drop down below, save you a little bit of time. That enemy can also spawn and knock you off. This whole game is just... Hey, are you gonna die here? It's literally... Oh, I did not get that. I tried to do a different strat. I might die. No, I killed the other guy first. So we can manipulate. Once it starts that attack, if you jump behind him, the boss no longer recognizes that it's in front of you and just continuously attacks.
Let's see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you stand directly behind when that attack is happening. Now, this is my favorite stage in all of Return of the Jedi right here. Let's see if I can pull this off.
Yeah. See, this is a gatekeeper level for me, not being able to freeze jump. This level right here is, one of those ones that's pretty open world as far as like platforming goes, and they want you to get to the...
I'm doing it again.
Oh, alright.
Sorry, you keep talking, you're good.
They want you to go... They don't tell you where to go, actually. And you can go all the way to the right, and they'll put a checkpoint, R2-D2, all the way to the very right of the level where it stops. and you'll pick it up, and you'll be very confused as to where to go next.
Yep.
But they want you to climb up the AT-ATs and then take some moving platforms back to the left most of the level, and then you end up on top of like a landing platform, cargo area.
Yep.
And you move all the way across back to the right of the level and fight a boss. But they really give you no direction on where to go. But with his freeze jumping, he's going to be able to skip all of that.
There we go. That's how you do that stage, right?
There we go. Nice. And we're at the boss.
Yeah, that is by far my favorite stage. All of Return of the Jedi. One of my favorites, actually, in all 3 games.
And doing that saves minutes. Like,
yeah, literal
multiple
minutes.
It's like a 3.5 minute, 4 minute level. And the way he does it, it's like a minute and a half. Are you gonna do the one in the tower?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm doing the hard tower strat. I don't remember how to do it without it, so I just do it.
Okay.
That one, if you mess up, loses minutes.
Yeah.
So as mentioned before, Luke can clip through walls, so can Leia. They actually share the same sprite. So we're gonna start the stage out as Leia, maybe finish it. Kind of depends on how much damage we take as the stage goes on.
They are twins, after all.
They are twins, after all. Exactly right. I have not had that happen before. There we go.
You're saying that's never happened before?
That's never happened before. Get out.
There we go.
Yeah, so that normally that enemy is just already there, but let's give this a shot here. Another speed boosting section. This is another, I guess, sequence breaking point.
This is a difficult trick to learn. I've spent hours trying to learn this and to only get it a handful of times.
Yeah, well, in addition to even after you learning it, like, it can just not work for you. Just not get a normal jump. That was bad. So that skips quite a bit. I could have kept going. I forgot. Normally you have to follow all those platforms, all those arrows that kind of showed up for a brief moment. You have to normally follow those, and it takes you, down, around, left, up, back, the whole shebang.
You take some elevators up, you go across some catwalks, you come back down into those things. It's considerably longer.
We gotta wait for this platform here.
Very close. So usually what I do is I'll attempt it once, and if I don't get it, I'll just switch to Han.
Yep. That's exactly how I do it.
And then you'll have grenades for this boss, and that boss is super free with grenades.
Yep. So we used the... Oh, actually, I need to focus through one. I used the green shield thing. What just happened here? I lost a platform. Use the little green shield thing to actually make it so that we can get the quick kill on the boss. That wasn't the full quick kill. That was actually a little bit slower than the normal way. But still faster than fighting it any other way. The green shield is not only a shield, but it actually damages enemies. And it does quite a bit of damage, so it only takes 2 from that boss in order to knock it out. So we got 1 hit from it. So as you can see right here as I'm using this, if I run into enemies, they just die.
It's a cool new addition in this game.
Oh, that's I don't know why I did that, but Yeah, there have been a lot of despawns, Fnatic. I've had to do a lot of adapting. So again, as I mentioned, a lot of RNG and kind of figuring out kind of what happens and making on-the-fly decisions of, oh, am I going to freeze jump here instead? Am I going to hope that I get a power-up later? There's a number of different kind of on-the-fly decisions that you have to make. That one ended up working out pretty well for me. Sometimes that's not the case. The other thing is using freeze jumps also literally lights the screen up pure white, and that can despawn things, that can just cause havoc, really, with the way that you would normally be accomplishing the run. Here we go. This is tower. This is the one that B-Man was saying. Am I doing the strat? Oh, we're doing it.
Doing the strat.
Oh, I did it too early. Okay, let's try that again. Bumped my head! So that's not even the hard part. The hard part comes later. That was just me being silly.
But also, so your force power is kind of your safety also.
Please.
Because if you're low on health, you can switch over to force heal. And so if you've used it all getting to a boss and you're low on health and low on force, you're gonna have a problem.
Absolutely. So what I did there is actually that is an intentional death. As mentioned, you need full freeze in order to finish the end of the stage, the particular freeze jumps that we do at the end, to jump into the loading zone for the end of the stage. But we found out that you can actually go ahead and use all of your freeze jumps to get up to that platform where I jumped up and got that R2, and then drop off, die. Oh, hello? Drop off, die, and then respawn back in, and then you have full force, and then can do this particular one right here. There it is. So what happens on that particular one is there's another floor above me that I was having to... that normally you have to wait for the elevator, climb up it, and then you fight two bosses, basically. But by doing it that way, what you actually do is you don't spawn those bosses, and you just go straight to the end level trigger. And
It's actually a lot like the sand crawler.
Yes, it is very much like that, but you're just coming up underwards as opposed to scrolling the screen up. Alright, let's see if we get the little inappropriate baiter in a second. Just do a quick one here.
He's your father, dude.
I know, but you know, he taught me everything I know. Just give him a little bit of time. He should do it. He's not being very nice right now. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. He's invisible.
But we learned that last game, Jack Parks. Totally glitched out. Why don't you stop like this?
Hold on, actually, he's... okay, there we go. He's back. No, he was back in! I messed it up! Come on. Alright, we're gonna give this like another 15 seconds and see what happens. I'm actually kind of confused. Here we go. This is it, I believe. Right here. There we go! Oh, Vader.
Worth it.
This is a children's stream.
Whoa, Luke, what are you doing?
What? Nothing.
He's dead, bro.
Yeah, it's even worse. Dead dad. This section here is quite awful.
Terrible boss.
This is
the worst designed boss ever.
You just gotta hope. And when he just throws a little bit of lightning over here, a little lightning over there.
So
it doesn't break
his lightning and your lightsaber can damage all the flooring in this section. And when the floor is gone, you fall down.
Yep.
And you can see the stairs are disappearing. There are some gaps in the lower level here. Oh, nice. Not too bad.
Got it. That was I would have been happy with that on any given run.
But there are times where he'll just sit in the sky and throw lightning down to the ground and just wipe out all the flooring.
Nothing you can do.
And then you just resort to like jump spinning, and that takes forever.
Anyone feel like getting sick, by the way? So here you go. This is the stage for you. Mode 7. About to blow up that Death Star. So we move back and forth. Sorry, go ahead.
This is an SNES technical achievement right here.
Yeah. We move back and forth because the TIE fighters will sometimes run into the walls, therefore not be in front of you, and despawn. The stage is actually remarkably easy on normal difficulty, but on Jedi it's like, I don't know, another one of those, I'd say 20% chance you make it.
Yeah. The next part too with the fire.
Yeah. Well, the next part's not as bad. It's if you get damaged at all, then yeah, you're screwed. But if you can actually make it so that you don't get hit, which is possible, then you're fine. So the next part's easier on Jedi, but this part is just, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, Death Star Escape in Rebel Strike is pretty tough on co-op because one person has to fly the Falcon, and the Falcon is pretty terrible inside the tube here.
Right. Oh.
Like I don't know why Lando would have done it. To me, it's like driving a semi-truck down an alleyway.
Yeah.
You have no idea where you're gonna end up or where you're gonna get stuck.
All the more impressive. This particular spot has a guaranteed speed booster. I don't know if you guys saw that. Is it? You can also randomly get speed boosters throughout the stage, but that one is a guaranteed.
Yeah, they'll give you shields, obviously, to replenish your shields. There's blaster power-ups and thermal detonators, right?
Yep.
And speed boost. They give you all kinds of power-ups for this level. You just don't really need them on easy.
You really don't. I mean, blaster is nice to get because it kind of makes less lag happen in certain spots.
And this level and the next level combined, it's like 6 minutes, isn't it?
Is it?
Like
it's somewhere between 5 and 7, I think. I can't actually remember. Yeah, so 6 is a safe assessment or assumption.
And
yes.
And your PB for this game is how long?
27-25, I think.
So like a quarter of the game is spent
this.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And here we go. And this whole section is, there's no more enemies. We are just flying out of here as fast as possible, going to Plaid, making sure that we don't bump into any of the walls. So you bump into the walls, then the fire catches you. Fire catches you, you take damage, you go even slower, and it's just a compounding reaction. I think I've only made it through this whole thing without getting hit once.
It's tough. The hitboxes are not... they're not where you think they would be.
Nope.
So this is our first Death Star 2 escape, isn't it? Because our next run is Rogue Leader, and that has the best Death Star 2 sequence. Actually, one of my favorite levels in all of Star Wars games is in Rogue Leader.
Which one?
The Death Star entering and exiting, strike the core.
Yeah. So got two little scratches there so far. It's actually pretty good.
You lost the radar dish.
I did lose the radar dish. I lost that going in. That was too close.
But if you make it through that gap, what do you get? Like 9 lives?
I think it's you get 1,000,000 points or something like that, which is the equivalent of 10 lives.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe it's 10 million points. I don't remember if it's 1,000,000 or 100,000 that gives you a life.
Fair.
What's up, audio?
I've only done it once, ever.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. It's not a common thing. Here we go, coming up on time right here for the trilogy. And I just don't know what I just did. No! I just erased it. It was 139 something.
It was like a 139.09 or something like that.
I hit the wrong button.
You're gonna have to run that back.
Well, I guess we gotta do it all over again, everyone. Buckle up. Trilogy run number 2.
Nice job, man.
Thank you. So what did I say my estimate was? 150?
150.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I feel like that was a good call.
Yeah. Things can go horribly wrong. You never
Yes.
know.
Like basically, if I had died once in all 3 of the games, like 150 is cutting it.
Yeah, you didn't die at all, did you?
I don't think so. I don't think I did. Other than like my intentional ones from messing up, like the free jumps.
Uh-huh.
So I guess technically I did die there.
But you didn't have to. Yeah.
I did not have to, but I wanted to. I wanted to show you guys how it's supposed to be done.
You didn't get trolled by anything. How's
No,
that?
I did not. Not the usual suspects, at least.
Really
Oh,
good.
oh, it is-
What's your best trilogy time?
133, I believe is my best.
Nice. That was fun.
It's like it's all I think within a minute of all my best times.
That's crazy.
Kind of nuts, yeah. Like back to back to back. There's one thing that I wanna. This is my favorite part of this entire trilogy credits section.
Harrison Fung.
Harrison Fong is in there. We do love our homie Harrison Fong. But no, just wait for it. There's a one little section here. So real quick, just thank you so much again, BMAC, the whole crew, the Star Wars Discord. If you guys are not a part of it, please join. It is a wonderful place. All the games are there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Here we go. Okay, so special thanks to George Lucas. Oh wait, no, I missed it. It was thanks to everybody.
Everybody.
No. Okay, I didn't miss it. Right here.
Everybody.
The producers wish to thank everybody at Skywalker Sound North. Thanks, everybody. Join the Discord, everybody. And stick around. We got some more. We got some more good times ahead. Good runs.
Good stuff coming.
Good stuff. Again, thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Again, if you ever want any more Super Star Wars info, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk about it. These are my favorite games of all time. And yeah, thanks again for having me, and continue watching.
Thank you for the run. That's great.
Absolutely.
All right. Up next, we're going to do Rogue Squadron 2. So stick around.